In this video in this story, a Kansas man took the life of his whole family, and the police was called 20 times. So we can react today. And first, I'm gonna start off by saying,
Please, Matt.
rest in peace to this beautiful mother and our beautiful children. Rest of it, God, in this my prayers, our family and friends during hard time. I pray God comfort during hard time, so during hard time, and comfort during hard time, to keep them covered during hard time, help them through the loss of their grandkids, cousins, nieces, nephew. Help them get through the hard time, and then losing their daughter, their daughters, their niece, their nephew, their niece, their grandchild. I just don't understand why he took life away his whole damn family. I just don't understand the part whatsoever. So we can react to this right now.
Maggie, just be my girlfriend, will ya?
You do not even have a shelter. You think you are even worthy of me?
Here, I am giving you my family heirloom lumber axe.
I've already got a level 100 chainsaw, you loser! Oh, get out of my sight!
No.
Okay, that's that biscuit.
Joseph in Butler County at the college killed my cousin Joseph and my cousin Bridget.
That dude was in his damn mind.
Our officers received a 911 call from a male individual who stated that he had killed his entire family, and he was getting ready to kill himself.
It's a story we first brought to you last night as breaking news. A small Kansas town shaken after a man killed his family before turning the gun on himself.
For one day, this looked like a man's breakdown. One person alone in a house, one terrible choice. Then investigators started going back through the evidence, and the story changed completely. Because 2 days after officers stood outside 408 West 9th Street, the case they thought they understood wasn't the case at all. This is the story of what came before that Tuesday morning in Winfield, Kansas. And the moment everyone learned they'd had it wrong from the start. If cases like this keep you up at night, hit subscribe. We cover a new trending tragedy every week, and you won't want to miss the next one. Winfield, Kansas isn't a place most people outside the state have heard of. Quiet streets, small community, the kind of town where people know their neighbors. In 2024, a family moved into a rental on West 9th Street. One story, big front porch, paint peeling off the siding. Nothing about it stood out. The man of the house was Ronald H. Williams Sr., 53. 6'5", bald, hard to miss in a room, and he carried something most of his new neighbors had no idea about. A criminal record stretching back more than 30 years. In 1997, in his 20s, Ronald was involved in an incident with a 15-year-old girl in the Kansas City area. The next year, he was convicted of attempted indecent liberties with a child, landing him on the sex offender registry until 2028. From there, the record kept growing. Theft, battery, aggravated battery, violating a protective order, drug offenses, assault on a law enforcement officer, burglary, attempted rape, kidnapping, endangering a child. The charges followed him through Wyandotte, Johnson, and Franklin counties from the mid-1990s on. One case from 2005 stands out. Ronald locked a woman inside a home, beat her, and strangled her until she blacked out. A neighbor heard something wrong and called police. That's the only reason it stopped. Prison records show him in and out of custody starting in 1994, with 32 disciplinary violations along the way. He came off state supervision in January 2016. After that, no new convictions for about a decade, but federal and state law generally restrict certain felons from owning firearms. So when Winfield police, years later in 2026, checked whether Ronald could legally have a gun, the answer came back that his conviction was too old to count. A man with that history, guns in the house. And the system's answer was that it was fine. Living with Ronald was his partner, Kelly L. George, 44. Together they had 4 children, Carol, 9, Ronald Jr., 7, Sarah, 5. and 3-year-old Kelly, named after her mother. One household, 2 parents, 4 kids under one roof. Before Winfield, the family had lived around Kansas City and Wichita. By 2024, they'd landed in this small town. And almost immediately, something started that would define the next 2 years. The police started getting calls to that address, and they didn't stop. Over the next 2 years, officers responded to that house more than 20 times. What makes it stranger? A lot of those calls came from Ronald and Kelly themselves, not from neighbors. And the complaints didn't sound like ordinary disputes. They claimed people had been tracking them since Kansas City, through Wichita, all the way to Winfield. They accused construction workers near their home of being in the country illegally, and claimed those same workers had killed members of Kelly's family and were stealing their identities. They reported a fake marriage utility fraud and told police the Department for Children and Families was driving past to watch them. Officers who responded wrote the same words again and again: agitated, delusional, possibly under the influence, possibly dealing with untreated mental health issues. One dispatch note from November 2024 says it plainly. The officer wrote, "I believe they are either both suffering from mental health issues or are taking illegal narcotics due to their agitated state and delusions. Use caution when dealing with these two." That's not a note about a noisy neighbor. That's a warning. And through the paranoia and the agitation, one thing kept showing up: guns. In October 2024, Ronald pulled a firearm on a woman walking her dog past him and the kids on their way to school.
And that's
His
ridiculous.
explanation: he was protecting himself from the dog. Another time, he told an officer flatly that if Kelly's ex-husband ever showed up, he'd shoot him. In October 2025, a FedEx driver used their driveway to turn around. Routine, harmless. And Ronald came out yelling and pulled a gun on him. The driver didn't press charges. Ronald later told police he didn't even own a gun. 2 weeks before the killings, another incident with the construction workers involved both Ronald and Kelly making statements about firearms. In almost every case, there was no formal charge because the person on the other end, the dog walker, the driver, the neighbors, chose not to press charges. Without that, police had limited room to act. The warnings weren't hidden. They sat out in the open over and over for 2 years, and each time the moment passed without anything changing. It wasn't only police fielding these red flags.
Hey, did you know you might get a big cash payout if you were in a car accident up to 1 year ago?
The Department for Children and Families had an open case on the family. Twice, Ronald and Kelly were aggressive enough at the local DCF office that staff considered banning them. In September 2024, a caseworker called police over their behavior. By June 2026, 2 months before the killings, officers ordered Ronald to leave the office and warned him that returning would count as trespassing. A certified letter making that ban official was already in the works. Then there was the school. At Irving Elementary, Ronald and Kelly reported that older kids had bullied and sexually harassed their daughter Carol on pajama day. They complained when their son came home with a rainbow-colored bracelet, insisting they didn't have a gay son. They claimed hospital paperwork describing a caved-in head on one of their children had been forged. In February 2025, Ronald reported what he called a crime at the school involving his 6-year-old son. The kids were enrolled in Winfield Public Schools for part of the 2024 to 2025 year, then pulled out. Not long after, a private homeschool appeared, registered at that same address called Williams Private School Family Owned. Neighbors saw it too. One woman who walked her dog past the house remembers Ronald yelling and screaming, loud enough that she told her husband she was afraid he'd eventually hurt his family. Another watched Kelly standing outside with the youngest on her hip, trying to calm him down while he worked on a car, visibly angry. Days before the killings, a neighbor's doorbell camera caught Ronald loading up a vehicle, screaming profanity, threatening to destroy someone. That footage exists. It was recorded days before 6 people ended up dead in that house.
White boy, kill my cousin Joseph. That's what it got me set up in mother county. You done killed my mother cousin. You was your my cousin.
Yeah, he sound like he was getting good. He said he was hallucinating, that means he's on them drugs.
Joseph in Sumner County at the college killed my cousin Joseph and my cousin Benji. Kill my cousin mother Joseph and kill my cousin Benji. And Sumner County, you got me a chicken in Sumner County. Woo! Woo! Okay. I got you, I'm fine. I'm down now. You kill my mother cousin and Joseph. Yeah, and Benji. Yeah, I got you. I got you. I got you. Oh, yeah, I got you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Killed my cousin Joseph and Benji. And my cousin was found in the bottom room, and his body was decomposed. You had something to do with that?
This is the fake ad you see everywhere, right? But this is Ebony, a real game. Now I know what you're thinking. Aren't they exactly the same? No, because Ebony is the real number gate runner game. You gotta try it, huh? Nobody ever believes me, but this really is just like the ads in real.
August, this wasn't a family with 1 or 2 isolated incidents. This was a household flagged separately, repeatedly, for 2 straight years. By police, teachers, social workers, neighbors. Everybody had a piece of it. Nobody connected the dots in time. Tuesday morning, mid-August. Winfield is just waking up. At 8:50 a.m., a 911 dispatcher picks up a call. The man on the line identifies himself as Ronald H. Williams, Sr. His voice is calm, direct. He says he's just killed his entire family and is about to kill himself too. Then he hangs up. Officers happen to be 2 blocks away, working an unrelated traffic accident. Within 2 minutes, they're outside 408 West 9th Street, the same house with the peeling white paint that neighbors had been watching for 2 years. As the first officer moves toward the door, a single gunshot goes off inside. It's 8:52 a.m. Officers pull back. All they know is there was a call, a shot, and possibly someone alive and armed inside. They treat it as a barricade situation, set a perimeter, and wait. For almost 2 hours, the house sits in silence. No movement, no more shots, no contact. At 10:57 a.m., officers breach the front door. Inside, they find 6 bodies, all shot. Ronald H. Williams Sr., 53, Kelly L. George, 44, and their 4 children, Carol, 9, Ronald Jr., 7, Sarah, 5, 3-year-old Kelly, named after her mother, 6 people, 1 house, 2 hours of silence that ended with the worst possible outcome. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation was called in immediately, working alongside Winfield Police. That evening, Police Chief Robbie DeLong called it one of the hardest scenes he'd witnessed in over 20 years on the job. He acknowledged police had dealt with Ronald before, including erratic behavior in the weeks leading up to that morning, but said nothing in those prior encounters had pointed to this.
And I listed off. That's all we know at this time that we're getting there. And as far as additional motives, we're still looking into that. Yes. The children were on the birth certificates listed as both mother and father of the adults that I listed off. Yes. We understand the impact that the neighbors are experiencing right now, and we appreciate their patience while we're working through this. But we do have a crime scene response team. They made great time coming down. They're in the scene right now and processing it. Agents are going to continue to do follow-ups. We've already talked to several of the neighbors, and we're going to continue to do that. But we are expecting probably the next couple of hours until we are able to start opening up that road. Absolutely. We are in the process of doing that right now, actually. Yeah, luckily this is a very difficult case for the agents and the crime scene personnel that are working it, and we do care very deeply about our agents' physical, mental, and emotional health and well-being. And so we have already engaged our peer support, which is some mental health professionals that have come in to kind of decompress and debrief the initial situation, and that will be ongoing. In addition to that, we have what's called safeguarding yearly for agents anyway, and but that process is available anytime agents would need it. So we have a very good process as far as keeping up with agents' mental health.
All right, just an update there from the KBI confirms that there was a murder-suicide in Winfield. This happened this morning on the northwest side of town. 6 people are dead, a man, a woman, and 4 young children ages 3 through 9. The KBI is on scene along with Winfield Police trying to figure out exactly what happened and why.
They did talk about the timeline. A call came in around 9 a.m. to emergency dispatch from a man who said that he was thinking about killing himself and that everybody else in the house was dead. They said in that news conference at about 11 a.m. And this was after, as an officer approached, they heard a single gunshot. They finally determined about 11 it was safe to try to enter the home, and that's where they saw 6 people dead, the 2 adults, including the suspect in this, and 4 young children ages 3 to 9. Kix Sophia Galvan has been covering the scene all throughout the day. She joins us live just steps from this house, and you've also been talking with neighbors about this, and take us through what they're telling you.
Krista, we're in the 400 block of West 9th, where as you can see, investigators are still on the scene and have been all day. Just a few minutes ago, we saw coroners bringing the bodies out of that home. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation said in the past hour that 5 victims are dead, plus the suspect, calling it a murder-suicide. Neighbors say this is a tragedy.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account. When you're ready to record, just hit.
Neighbors in the 400 block of West 9 stepped outside their homes as heavy law enforcement presence filled the block. Some of the neighbors say they weren't surprised to see them outside of this specific home.
I've called on him multiple times, about 15 times in the 3 months that I've lived here, for just shooting randomly or shots being fired.
A neighbor close to this home, Olivia Ventul, says she has seen and heard the suspect firing his gun from his front porch.
Sadly not, and I wish the situation could have been prevented further when almost all of his neighbors have called the cops on him.
One neighbor, Megan Higgins, who walks her dogs in the area, says she witnessed a situation that left her afraid to walk near his house again.
He was talking about how he would get a pleasure out of hurting these kids. I mean, it was just terrible.
Higgins says she's not alone.
No, there's so much more than just us. Everybody heard what was going on. You know, like, I mean, some people just don't have a voice, I guess. Like, how do you get to a point to want to kill your entire family, like your own family, you know?
For the first day, the story was simple. One man, one breakdown, one act. Then, on August 14th, everything changed. The KBI and Winfield Police released an update that reframed the entire case. Evidence showed Ronald Williams and Kelly George jointly shared responsibility for a premeditated plan to kill their children and then themselves.
Oh, God.
Investigators found no sign of an argument or struggle before the shootings. This was planned. And here's the detail that changes how you have to look at everything before it.
That's crazy to me.
The gun recovered at the scene, the Taurus .38 special revolver, wasn't Ronald's. Kelly had purchased it herself back in February 2025, 6 months before it was used to end her own family's life. Investigators confirmed no one else was involved, just the two of them, a plan built together and carried out together on an ordinary Tuesday morning. There would be no trial, no courtroom, no sentencing. Both people responsible were among the 6 found dead inside that house. What remained was paperwork, a case file headed for the Cowley County Attorney's Office, documenting a pattern stretching back years. A criminal history over 3 decades long, more than 20 police calls, an open DCF case, conflicts at school, guns pulled on strangers again and again with no charges ever sticking. And finally, a plan 2 parents made together, ending 4 children's lives before ending their own. As of mid-August 2026, the investigation remains open. Within days, flowers, toys, and small angel figurines began showing up outside the house. Neighbors held a 5-night vigil, porch lights left on in the dark, followed by a prayer gathering focused on healing. The questions in Winfield didn't stop there. How many red flags does it take? 20 police visits, an open DCF file, a registered sex offender with a 30-year record legally allowed to own a gun because his conviction was too old to count. Neighbors who heard the yelling and still didn't know how bad it really was. Some in town say the system's hands were tied, that police can only do so much when the people being threatened won't press charges. Others say that isn't good enough, not when 4 children are dead. There's no clean lesson here, no simple fix. Just a record, now fully documented, of every moment someone could have stepped in and didn't. 4 kids who never made it past the age of 9, and a small Kansas town that will be asking these questions long after the headlines move on. If this story stayed with you, there's another trending case waiting in your feed right now. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it.
I need medical, I need food, I need, I'm supposed to get you my business.